Lori and Dino McDowell, proud owners of the 60 Hatteras Lifeline and valuable anglers on the Lifeline Sport Fishing Team. Thank you so much for sitting with me today to chat.
Glad to be here.
Where are y'all tuning in from?
I'm tuning in from the house.
Site watching these guys putting in some infrastructure in one of my developments.
There you go, because no rest for the wicked, Dino.
That's right. Well, somebody's got to work.
Oh, no. I put in the work, buddy.
That's right. Tell them, Lori.
That's right.
And
They're
you have been.
I don't know how they would know, how to be on time. I just don't know how that would happen.
Well, shoot. No comment. So, Lori, putting in the work. Let's start with you. I mean, you've had a heck of a season. Your team has had a heck of a season. Coming into the 2024 tournament season with Lifeline, you'd never caught a Marlin before. Is that correct?
That's correct. And just the whole season, I mean, literally, it was an answered prayer, the way everything fell into place. And finding Blake, the way all that happened, we were just so excited that we were able to first have somebody lead us and coach us. And now, all the people that he's put into place, it's like every single person has an important job on that boat. And it doesn't matter what it is, but that's what makes it all work. And then seeing everything come together is like super special.
Oh, I love that. So, I mean, I can't, I've had this conversation with others in the past in the sport fishing space, but you really highlighted on a really important part of what it means to be in a competitive sport fishing team, that everybody on the boat has a role and that they need to play in that key role. Dino, what's your role on the boat?
Well, usually they call me when it's time to buy fuel or pay for the bait. And then I try to be the entertainer. I don't know how well it works sometimes.
Oh, you're definitely the entertainer.
No.
But really,
all right, I love it.
Just to echo what Lori said, we have really been blessed this season to come from where we come from last year, and then, leading in the Gulf this year, and none of us had never caught a Marlin, and we both got to do that this year with this team, and it just makes it special. It's really like our family has just expanded when we got our whole group with Blake and his family, Asher and Holly. That's his wife and kid, and then all the mates have been just a blessing to have too.
That's so sweet, you guys. I just love hearing about this family dynamic that y'all have on board and the endless mutual respect that you have for each other. It really speaks volumes in the fact that you all guys we're going into the Gulf Championship event this next weekend, and you guys are sitting in first seed. You're already got your bags packed for Cabo because you won you win and you're in event at Hurricane Hole a few weeks ago. Congratulations on that. I mean, amazing stuff. You started the season quite low in the SFC rankings, and you guys persisted and persisted. You just said you both caught your first Marlin this year. Lori, what has your experience been like as an angler? Like, give us a little bit of a look into your journey this last summer.
This last summer, I was a little nervous going in just because I didn't know what to expect. I'm a planner, I'm detailed. And so Blake was like, "You're going to get in the chair." And I knew when he told me I was going. So I had to do what the captain said. And the first, I really can't explain how special it was because I had watched, I think it's Bad Company Sports Fishing. He had given me, like the instructional video to prepare. And then I had watched Jacelyn, and I was like, man, she's so tiny. And then I see Katie in Biloxi, and she's like, you stick that elbow out and you just reel. And so when I got to do that, it was so neat because everybody had like something special that got me to that point. And then each, like the second fish that I caught, it was like, man, I'm starting to get the hang of it. And your confidence just builds each time you get in that fighting chair. and we do a rotation. So usually I'm like third string, but I'm working my way up.
You go, girl.
It's just been really exciting, and I can't describe how thankful I am, because if it weren't for all these guys, I wouldn't have been able to do it. They've walked me through every step. So pretty cool stuff.
It is really cool. What is the most surprising aspect of being a new angler in a fighting chair, attached to a big fish, attached to a big marlin, potentially a lot of money on the line? That's a lot of pressure. What is that experience like?
Well, the most, I really experienced it the first time we all caught our marlins, which was the Mississippi Gulf Coast Billfish
Billfish
Classic.
Classic. Good job.
And I wanted to make sure everybody got in the chair first. Then, that would be my chance to get in there and reel. And that was just a really cool experience, knowing, one, that we all got to do that together, but then two, knowing that all the work we've put in, when you're reeling in, you're just like, man, you feel the power of the fish in the water, and mine just jumped all over the place. And I was like, wow. And honestly, Katie, when it came up to the boat, you're in the chair, so you don't get to experience seeing the fish. But in the video, I promise you, it looked like it was smiling at me. And, you see like the little rainbow out in the water in the video, but like watching the video and then me being in the chair, it was just two different experiences. So that was super cool for me.
That is super cool.
And it was like a promise, because I knew that I can do anything through Christ, but I also know that it takes, some action and people, you learning throughout that process. And I've had good teachers. So
yes, absolutely. And that's such an important thing in the sport fishing space, is to have people that can teach you, but also to have anglers that can listen. And I think that your improvement this season has spoken volumes in your ability to take instruction and to be able to thrive as an angler. When you release that first fish, that second fish, how has that affected, because you've seen billfish released,
right.
But when you were the angler, how has that changed your view on sport fishing? Has it changed your opinion of marlin, or your thoughts, your relationships with marlin at all?
Yes. So I always wondered, just because, from the outside looking in, we didn't do catch and release before this season. And so I was like, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool to be able to bring in a fish and weigh it. But then knowing that you're preserving like that for future generations is really cool. But also just the fact that when you see that fish be able to swim off into the ocean, it's pretty awesome. First of all, that, you get to be hooked up to something that magnificent, but then to be able to release it back into the sea, into its home, that was really cool.
It is really cool. I love it. It's my favorite thing. Dino, what has it been like for you to watch your family just thrive this summer? What has that experience been like for you?
It's very special. We put a lot of hard work into what we've done, and last year we done a lot of the work ourselves. But just to watch all of these guys catching these fish and letting them, I'm gonna be honest with you, I get teared up when it happens, but because it's been real good and real successful for everybody, and we've all done it together, and we've just been blessed so much. And every time we catch fish, even Blake, we all just hug and high five, and it's something that's very exciting to see. You've probably seen some of the videos, but really being on there and feeling that, it's just a godsend that we get to experience that as a family and then extended family.
That's so well said. What are some of the challenges that you guys have had this season? Like, in what ways, what steps did you have to take? You added Blake onto the team, you added his crew onto the team. That was huge. But as a family and as key components of the team, what steps and what challenges did you overtake to get to where y'all are sitting first seed in the Gulf Division?
Well, it took a lot of learning from all of us. I didn't know what to expect. Like Lori said, when you sit in that chair the first time to catch a marlin, so we overcome a lot of hard work. We overcome a lot of repairs on this boat. We bought this boat and it had sat. The guys used it as a hotel, and we put
Oh gosh.
sonar in it. We put tuna tubes in it. We put sea keepers in it. So really watching it all come together, plus working through the bugs of a new team, it really started to gel in in Biloxi, the Biloxi tournament, and it's just like Blake had said on there. He said, "See, when the team comes together, then everything starts happening." And when you feel that fish hold my big butt up in the air at 250 pounds, and you're like, "Oh wow, this is awesome." I mean, this is just
That's a
something
lot of
I
power.
can't believe the people that has never experienced it, because they don't have any idea what they're missing. Wow, it's just
Mm.
amazing.
Lori, do you want to add to that?
Well, I would just say, like each fish that you catch, I know like we've caught a lot of shark too, and you learn something every time you're in that chair. And I know the last time I was hooked up, they said to probably like a 700 or 800 pound shark.
Ooh.
And I was like, that's probably the biggest thing I've ever been hooked up to. And I didn't know who was hooked. But I do remember thinking, I'm ready to bring this thing in. And then it gets up and it's not a marlin. I was kind of disappointed.
Oh yeah.
But
How long had that fight been?
it was a good hour to bring
I
that
had to
fish
hold
in.
her
And
in
the
the chair.
waves were, we were battling the waves. And I mean, I got soaked. And it was so funny because the first time I saw Jordan catch his fish, it was like Blake was backing down on the fish, and Jordan got soaked. I was like, man, I want to do that, and then
It's
when
like
it
a
actually happened,
rodeo.
I was like, I don't know if I want to do that or not. But then this trip, we were battling some of the waves, and when the water came over, it's like I just kept on reeling, and I thought, it's really those moments. It's like you think about all kinds of cool things, but knowing that you're able to overcome with each inch that you get or whatnot is pretty exciting, because I think it's a reflection of what we've been through throughout this whole fishing season. Each time we get out there, we learn something, and even if it's fixing something on the boat or whatever it may be, it really makes the team who they are. So a lot of people don't see everything that you go through, like the negativity, but
Mhm.
they see like, you winning and stuff, and it takes a lot to get to that win. So
Yeah. It takes a lot. It
yeah,
takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears,
yes,
literally.
yes.
How long have y'all owned the boat?
Let's
We
see.
bought that
Dino
boat.
purchased.
Go ahead.
I think you purchased it. It was like right before the ECBC last year in 2023. Was it? Is
Y'all
that
were
right?
in, was
No,
it
we
a
went in.
different boat that y'all had in Hurricane Hole last year?
No, we
No.
started.
2023?
We bought it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was
It was year.
2022, not
It was
2020.
Okay.
22. We had bought the boat, and we got it closed out right before that one tournament, and
Mm-hmm.
then we started doing all the stuff we wanted to add to it. We didn't add the tuna until this season. Captain Blake actually put them in for us. So
Nice.
yeah, that
It
was
was 3 years ago, Katie. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
time. Hey, I tell you what, times. Look at here, we're already August is gone. It's time's
I
flying.
know.
I can't believe it.
We've
I
been doing all
cannot
this
believe
fishing,
it.
having a ball, and then you turn around like, okay, this is our last regular season tournament coming up next week, and I'm like, no way, we can't be this far done in the summer. Oh my God, we're gonna miss it.
And
And what a summer y'all have had.
yes.
It's been a blessing.
And you got to spend it with your whole family every day on the water. Like, that's incredible. Lori, how many marlin have you released this summer?
I have released a total of 6. So
6.
6. Yes, I did I released 4 in Hurricane Hole, which was really cool. So they said I'm going to have to sit out, for the Labor Day, but we'll see about that.
That's just Jordan being Jordan.
Yes.
He's a chair
Jordan
hog.
was like, it's definitely my turn, but you have to fight Jordan to get to the fighting chair. I mean, he is getting there. So
That's awesome. I love it. And I mean, you're very, very close knit family. I really, really love following you guys in your tournament season, your adventures on the water. Y'all have a great social media presence, which is a lot of fun. But being part of the same fishing team does not necessarily mean that you guys aren't super competitive within yourselves, right? Like, do you have a lot of competitive? I mean, I know that, like you just said, Jordan's gonna fight to get in that chair every single time. What is that like? What's the competitive nature on board between you guys?
Well, I tell you
Dino.
one thing that you learn, I want to mention this first. When you catching these fish, when you hook him up, nothing's guaranteed, and so a lot of them get off for no reason. And before you catch yours, you're like, "What did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong?" Because we're not wanting to miss any fish because there's a lot of money on the line. But anyway, back to the competitiveness. Jordan, fish got on, and the captain said, "Who's gonna get in the chair?" And he was upstairs on the sonar. I think he hit one ring on one step on the ladder and jumped to the floor in the chair and strapped up before we could even start going down the ladder. So you really got to be quick to get in the chair before him.
We've asked Blake to make Jordan a seatbelt.
Yeah, we're gonna ratchet
Give him
strap
some
his
more
butt
obstacles.
ratchet strap his butt up right to the sonar chair.
That's so funny. Being in the bridge is not far enough.
No. Well,
No.
it is cool for him because he's learning from Blake about the sonar. So just being able to, locate the fish, track it, and then actually get in the chairs, that's pretty cool.
It is super cool. That is amazing.
It's neat seeing all of that happen too. And Blake he is such a good teacher and leader. I mean, he is the absolute best I've ever been around. So, and I got to tell you this too, Katie, because Carson, so his birthday was like, his 40th birthday was at the beginning of the season. And I was like, how many, billfish do you think we're going to catch? And he, I forgot the number that he gave me, but I was like, well, we're going to catch 40 this year. Well, right now we're at 31 billfish.
Stop.
Yes. And we've got the Labor Day Invitational coming up, and that's pretty, we're pretty close to that goal. And it's just neat how when you set goals and get to those goals, it's pretty
as a team, as a family,
as a team.
Yeah, and you exceed those goals because right. I mean, goodness, you guys, like I mentioned it earlier in this conversation, but the way you have climbed up the ladder of the Gulf Division is just extremely impressive. It's extremely impressive. I'm not going to keep you much longer. This was an amazing talk. I can't believe we're already almost 20 minutes in. What do you have any final words on how you've evolved as fishermen, anglers, and a family this season before we get into this Gulf Championship division?
I would just say unity is powerful. And when everybody comes together with the same goal, like the boys in the boat, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. That's a powerful movie. When they get to that certain spot, everything just seems to happen. And Dino, you take it from there.
Well, the boys in the boat, it's about the rowing exercise that they do. It's called crew, and that's what's in the Olympics. And you've got, I think it's eight rowers, and then one little captain, this little small guy up in the front. And they can row hard as long as they're just fighting each other, nobody's going to go fast. But when you all start working in unison, you hit something called swing, and then you just soar past everybody else. Now, in saying that, we always try to stay God-focused, God-centered. We always pray before we leave the docks. Blake's always leading us in prayer because he's the captain. He's leading us, and he loves having that position as well. And it's just neat to see everything. I've learned so much in the hurricane hole. I had to be a second mate in the cockpit, and that's why Lori got so many seat time. But anyway,
And I will
Thank
say,
you for your sacrifice.
we appreciate
anyway,
that.
you learn so much, and it's just been a blessing. And so we all try to do our part, even if it's whatever it is. It don't matter. You just do your part and try to do it the best you can do it, and then that's what brings you the success that we've had, except as well as God's favors.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Lori, any last words?
I don't think so, but man, I can't wait to go win some big tournaments ahead. And also, Katie, we had a special gentleman with the Bay Point tournament who spoke with us, and he said a little prayer, and he said, y'all are going to catch a 1,200 pounder. And he was talking to me. And so I was like, man, I can't wait. And so I was researching the other day about the world record in Cabo. Do you know what that world record is?
I do not.
12:13. So we got to reel in a 12:14.
I mean, girl, let's go.
Well,
What it's going to be, but I'm real excited about going to Cabo.
I need to fish before September 30th because we're in the Mongo.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's fair. That's
We
fair.
need
I
lots
feel
of
like
practice.
Mongo is a great tournament. Great people. That's awesome. All right, you guys. Well, good luck with the Gulf Division Championship coming up. And I am really excited to follow you guys in your adventures at the Zane Grey Championship playoff in Cabo this year.
We look forward to seeing you, Katie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Katie. You do a wonderful job, and we really love watching all your videos.
We do.
Thank you. You're so sweet. All right. We'll be seeing you out there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.